The bedroom door was open. The closet was burned and covered in black marks. My wedding dress was gone. In the kitchen, I found a small box filled with ashes. Next to it was a note written in neat handwriting. "Know your place?" I stood there shaking. I knew who would want to hurt me like this, but I had no proof. I collapsed onto the floor. When Ethan got back home, he was pale and angry.
"I'm calling the police."
My name is Thelma Ndlovu, and if you told the little girl I used to be, running barefoot on red South African soil, that one day she'd be sitting in a quiet apartment in the United States, telling a story like this, she would have laughed and asked you if you were mad. I moved to the US when I was 12. My mother chased opportunity the way some people chase miracles. She worked 3 jobs, cleaned houses that smelled like lemon polish and quiet judgment, and she told me every night,
Thelma, never let anyone make you feel small, especially people who already think you are.
Those words stayed with me. By the time I was 30, I was a remote data analyst for a healthcare company, working from home. Numbers made sense to me, patterns, truth hidden in chaos. I loved my job. I loved the freedom. I loved that my success didn't need permission. And then I met Ethan. We met at a coffee shop where my Wi-Fi had betrayed me during a meeting. He offered his hotspot like it was the most normal thing in the world.
"You look like you're fighting your laptop. I've been there."
I laughed. That laugh changed my life. Ethan was white, kind in a quiet way, and loved me like I was oxygen. He listened when I spoke. He learned my culture. He learned how to pronounce my last name correctly on the first try, which if you know, you know. But Ethan came with baggage. Not emotional baggage, historical baggage. His parents, Margaret and Thomas Whitaker, behaved like they had stepped out of the 1800s and were deeply offended that time had moved on without asking them. The first time I met his mother, Margaret, she stared at me the way people stare at art they don't understand, but already hate.
Oh, you are darker than I expected.
Ethan squeezed my hand.
"Mom, this is Thelma, the woman I told you about."
She smiled without warmth.
Well, I suppose times are changing.
That was her favorite sentence. She used it like a complaint and a threat. The racism wasn't loud at first. It was quiet, polite, surgical. She'd clutch her purse tighter around me. She asked if I was legal. She once asked if my hair was real or political. Every time Margaret and Charlotte visited, strange things started happening. I would be working from home in the middle of an important meeting when suddenly the lights would go off. The internet would drop. My screens would go black. It never failed. Margaret would sit back calmly, pretending to be surprised.
Oh dear, how unfortunate. Maybe this house isn't suitable for your kind of work.
Charlotte would smirk and check her phone, like she already knew what was coming. When they weren't around, the attacks changed. One evening, loud knocking shook my front door. I opened it to find police officers standing there.
"We received a tip that someone living here may be in the country illegally."
My heart dropped. Minutes later, ICE agents arrived. Neighbors stood outside watching. Phones were out. People whispered. I felt exposed, humiliated. I calmly went inside, came back with my documents, and handed them over. My passport, my visa, my work permit, everything was valid. The agents read through the papers carefully. Then they looked uncomfortable. They left without another word. I stood in the doorway, shaking, not from fear, but from anger. Across the street, I saw Margaret watching from her car. She didn't wave. She just smiled. That was when I understood. They weren't trying to scare me anymore. They were trying to break me. But all they were really doing was leaving a trail, and I was collecting every piece of it. And then there was the laptop incident. I worked from home, remember? One afternoon, Margaret visited unannounced. I was on a video call with my team, presenting quarterly projections. Important. Focused. She walked in, frowned at my screen, and whispered loudly,
Staring at a screen isn't real work, you know.
I muted myself. Margaret, I'm working. She walked closer, sniffed.
In my day, women worked with their hands, especially your kind. This typing nonsense.
And then she did it. She grabbed my laptop and slammed it onto the floor. Crack. Silence. My team stared at me through frozen screens. Ethan rushed in.
"Mom, what the hell?"
Margaret straightened her cardigan.
I did her a favor. Maybe now she'll get a real job.
That night, Ethan apologized until his voice broke.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know she'd go that far.
I believed him. Love makes you generous with belief. When Ethan told his parents he wanted to marry me, the house erupted like a volcano that had been racist since the Industrial Revolution.
Over my dead body.
Our bloodline will not be erased.
Yes, she actually said that. His sister Charlotte smirked the whole time. Charlotte was Margaret's shadow. Same eyes, same poison. Margaret leaned toward me.
You think you can just come here, take our son, our name, our legacy?
I smiled. I didn't take him. He chose me. That's when the plan began. I didn't know it yet, but they decided if they couldn't stop the wedding politely, they'd stop it violently. My wedding dress arrived on a Thursday. It was ivory silk, simple and beautiful. When I tried it on, I cried with happiness. 2 days later, I came home and smelled smoke. Someone had broken into the house. The bedroom door was open. The closet was burned and covered in black marks. My wedding dress was gone. In the kitchen, I found a small box filled with ashes. Next to it was a note written in neat handwriting. Know your place? I stood there shaking. I knew who would want to hurt me like this, but I had no proof. I collapsed onto the floor. When Ethan got back home, he was pale and angry.
I'm calling the police.
When the police asked questions, Margaret acted shocked.
This is so dramatic. Maybe it was an accident, or maybe one of her people?
I couldn't prove it was her or Charlotte, but in my heart, I knew. That was the moment something inside me changed. And it didn't end there. Soon after, vendors started calling, saying I had canceled. Emails were sent from an address pretending to be mine. The wedding venue even contacted us, saying they were warned about an illegal gathering. Someone was trying to destroy my wedding from the inside. And this time, they were getting closer. 3 nights before the wedding, Charlotte tried to kidnap me. She didn't come alone. She sent some men instead. They waited near my building with a van. When they grabbed me, I screamed and fought back. I sprayed pepper spray into one man's face and kicked another one as hard as I could. People nearby heard me shouting and ran toward us. The men panicked. They let go of me, jumped into the van, and drove away before the police arrived. I was shaking, but I was alive. Later, I learned the truth. Charlotte had hired those men. She promised to pay them, but she lied to them. She gave them wrong information and told them I would be alone. Because of her lies, they almost got arrested that night. And she never paid them. They were angry. The next day, those same men kidnapped Charlotte. They tied her up and beat her inside an abandoned warehouse. They wanted their money, and they wanted revenge for almost getting caught. Someone nearby reported strange noises, and the police arrived in time to save her. When the police found her, Charlotte broke down. She confessed everything. She admitted she planned my kidnapping. She gave the police the names of the men she hired and told them everything she knew. All of them were arrested and sent to jail. Margaret's karma came soon after. One day, she was caught on video in a shop yelling racist insults at a black disabled boy. She mocked him and his mother, saying cruel and hateful things. Someone recorded the whole scene and posted it online. The video went viral. People found out who she was. Her address was leaked online. Protesters showed up outside her house. She was fired from her job, and every organization she worked with cut ties with her. As for the father, Thomas, karma hit him quietly but hard. At work, he fell down a staircase and broke his leg badly. He needed surgery and now walks with crutches. He can no longer work the way he used to. The man who once looked down on others now depends on help just to move around. We eventually got married. We changed the venue. It was quiet, safe, and perfect. Ethan took my last name. We cut his parents off completely. No calls, no letters, no forgiveness. The last I heard, Margaret volunteers in a prison library and takes care of Thomas, who uses crutches while Charlotte's rots in jail. As for me, I bought a new laptop. I built a better life. And I married the man who chose me every single time. So if you enjoyed this story of love, racism, revenge, and karma doing overtime, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, never mess with a woman who works from home, because we have Wi-Fi, receipts, and time.